A very good morning to all the viewers and listeners of Hello Kolkata, a Kolkata Calling podcast series. Like every Sunday, we are back with a very, very special guest today, and I'll be introducing him shortly. But before that, for years, there's been this narrative that Kolkata missed the GCC wave. But last year, a global automotive technology leader made a different bet. Visteon Corporation, a company at the forefront of digital cockpit and software defined vehicle innovation, opened its Global Capability Center right here in Kolkata. Today, we are joined by Rahul Singh, Vice President of Software Engineering at Visteon. Rahul leads a global team of over 900 engineers driving advanced automotive software solutions for some of the world's leading automakers. His journey spans Samsung, Broadcom, Harman, and now Visteon, shaping the evolution of mobile, multimedia, and automotive platforms along the way. He's a true blue Kolkata boy, and today we explore why Visteon chose Kolkata, what this means for the city's tech and talent ecosystem, and how the future of mobility is increasingly software defined. With that, let me welcome Rahul onto the main stage.
Hello,
Good morning,
Shabir.
Rahul.
Good morning, Shabir. Wonderful to be here, and thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure, our pleasure at Kolkata Calling. Rahul, I said in the introduction, you're a true blue Kolkata boy. Before we get into Visteon and the whole GCC journey in Kolkata, would love to know a little bit about your background. How was it for you growing up in this city?
Yes, a true Kolkata boy indeed. I was born and brought up in Calcutta. I still have my ancestral home here. Though my parents are no more, but then I keep visiting this city every now and then. Now, because of Visteon, almost every quarter. Okay. I did my schooling in Lilwa, did my college in Kolaghat. I was an electrical engineering graduate in 2007 from College of Engineering and Management, and then had to leave Calcutta or Kolkata, and since then been working in multiple cities across India and abroad. Took this opportunity to come back to Calcutta, give something back to our city in terms of nurturing the engineering talent, and seeing how Visteon can leverage the true engineering community in Calcutta.
Yeah, no, that's actually wonderful, and it's true homecoming in a way. Uh,
Yes.
Rahul, one thing we've heard, because of our Kolkata Calling page, that there's this narrative that we get to hear Kolkata missed the GCC wave, right? And that's a typical narrative. Yet Visteon chose Kolkata. What are we missing in this story? What do we not know?
Well, so I would not really call it as missed the GCC wave. It I would really call it as a hopeful Calcutta boy waiting
Hmm.
for the right GCC wave to arrive. Okay,
Mhm.
if we divide this whole GCC wave into a couple of portions, the first portion obviously had to be cost arbitrage. Okay, so global companies trying to do cost effective engineering, or rather outsourcing activities. If that was the wave one, the wave two is essentially deep engineering, and with the advancements in AI and deep technology. I think that second wave, Calcutta, because of its educational prowess, is definitely ready and uniquely positioned to be a part of this second wave, rather. And that's one of the main reasons why Visteon is also here. Okay, so when we wanted to open our next tech center, we didn't come to Calcutta just to expand our capacity, or we were looking at cost arbitrage. We came here to build capability, strong engineering execution capabilities.
Yeah. And coming to Visteon, obviously Visteon is a global automotive technology giant, right? Uh, for our viewers and listeners, if you had to sort of capture what does Visteon really do, what does it build, can you give us a little bit overview of the core technology, core innovations that it's working on?
I'm super proud to talk about what we do. Okay, so essentially, we make digital cockpit products. So what digital cockpit products essentially are? When you get inside the car, and you as a driver or a passenger face exchange information with the dashboard. Okay, so all electronics lying around you is the digital cockpit. It contains the instrument cluster, the infotainment systems in the car, the cameras connected on the car, any kind of software connectivity, digital connectivity which you get, even your mobile based remote unlock is a part of your digital cockpit experience. So Visteon really builds this digital cockpit electronic products. Okay, and I head the software group which essentially does this digital cockpit products in Visteon.
Wow. And since you talked about this the software enabled future for vehicles, obviously it's an evolution in progress, right? Since the early days of complete manual to manual technology to now more technology less manual, autonomous vehicles are also around. From your lens, you've been in this domain for quite a number of years. How have you seen this evolution in the industry in the software defined vehicle category from your lens?
So prior to this automotive industry, I was a part of the mobile revolution. I mean, for
Mhm.
some of us who are the 80s kids, we would remember those big candy bar phones with small displays, and at maximum, what you could do was play a snake game on it, nothing more than that.
Yeah.
From there, we are talking about the iPhones and the Galaxy S's and all other smartphones of the world, which probably have 6.5 and plus 6.5 inches or more of screen, and you can actually consume all your digital content on it. A similar revolution has happened even in the automotive cockpit world. Okay, so we used to be very happy if you just insert a cassette player or have a 3 CD changer in your car to just change the songs automatically. But now we are talking about cars laden with three or more big screens, with all the information at your fingertips, with touch and voice and all other UX capabilities inside the digital cockpit. We are seeing a revolution inside the whole digital cockpit experience. So the customers
Mhm.
now can claim car as one of their devices rather than a metal enclosed body with wheels and can take from place A to place B. Cars now are actually a digital product more than a material mechanical product.
Yeah, yeah. And also curious here, Rahul, when you are designing these systems, developing these advanced systems, what are some of the things that you have to keep in mind from, let's say, the attention versus distraction, driver safety, safety of, pedestrians, safety of other vehicles? What are some of the guiding principles that you would use when sort of developing the roadmap for products like these?
So Sumit, that's a tricky question. So what we do is first we add a lot of technology to cater to a customer's end needs. Okay, be it digitalization, content consumption, or any of these things, and then we get into a question: how is this going to distract the driver or the person using it? We add more technology to actually control some of those behaviors of the technology which we have added during critical times of driving. Okay, so
Mhm.
what we ensure is you are able to enjoy all of the technology which we have given, for example, gaming in the car, but only when your car is actually at a standstill. Okay, so we employ a lot of UX, user experience restrictions while building some of these features. They are inherently ensuring the safety of the users. On the second part of this whole dynamics is the ADAS functionality, where essentially we add more technology to be able to help the assist the drivers during critical situations, instant braking, safety, knowing which part, I mean, doing lane changes, assisting you while you are doing lane changes. uh, all of these ADAS actually is features are also helping the customers in have that increased sense of safety and security in the car. Okay, so we are building both of these two technologies together.
Yeah, no, that's great to hear. And obviously there is a lot of R&D. There's a lot of innovation, keeping in pace with the changing software technology landscape, changing nature of cars. You have a very good view of this R&D side of things. How have you seen India's capability evolve into this global automotive R&D?
Okay, so Sumit, I think and I firmly believe that India, look, we know this for a fact. India has the largest software talent pool. Okay, we
Yeah.
produce by far the biggest number of good software engineers who work on multiple different technologies. Automotive being one of them. Why automotive is so special is because you talk about any underlying technology, connectivity, displays, SOCs, hardware, software, artificial intelligence, voice recognition, image based AI, all of these technologies really converge to give you better automotive experiences. You can use a great image based algorithm to actually detect objects when you are driving a car in a foggy condition, right? India has the biggest, largest software talent pool. Uh, with earlier scope of the whole thing, India was looked mostly as a cost advantage destination, okay, wherein you decide the system and then ask India to implement those modules. Okay, I think from that situation of implementing modules, India has now come into actually defining platforms. Okay, some of the products which we do, which we as Visteon do for our global customers, are actually being done, designed and produced from India. Okay, I think India is moving uh, at a very good speed into owning complete architecture and platform rather than small modules and services.
Yeah. And that is very heartening to hear in terms of the overall India's position as an R&D innovation hub, which brings us sort of to the burning question, and you sort of hinted at it in the intro itself. um, what we would like to know, and this is obviously a very proud moment for us at Kolkata calling, for as a Kolkatan, that Visteon chose Kolkata. uh, from your lens, from the organization lens, uh, what were some of the primary considerations for Visteon choosing Kolkata?
Well, so let's think like this, Sudeep. We didn't one fine morning get up and just rotated the globe and found, okay, let's go to Calcutta. We had our own deliberate reasons for it. Okay, the reasons definitely. I mean, the first reason was the talent depth. Okay, we wanted engineers who could understand systems rather than just build modules. Okay, of course, long-term stability from our own. If you look at it from our lenses, we would want to invest in places which had great talent, providing long-term strategic conviction to us. Okay, we wanted to build capability, not just capacity. I mean, had cost been the only reason, there are a whole lot of places on the globe where Visteon could have invested, because we are a global company, and in India itself we are present in multiple cities. We definitely wanted a low churn for this whole 8 to 10 year strategic uh, timeline. We work on some of the best products which our customers create. Okay, as an example, the recently launched products from the top Indian vehicle manufacturers have Visteon's infotainment and cockpit solutions. Okay, so to make all of this happen, we wanted to invest in a city which could offer long term commitment, long term talent growth to us. And that's why we came to Calcutta.
Yeah, and I think the same vision, as you mentioned, that working with these giant automakers, you have a long term relationship with them as customers, and you also want to build a similar kind of a talent ecosystem, which is a long term thing, not really a short term cost based impulsive decision, but a clearly strategic direction in which Visteon is moving.
Absolutely, absolutely, Subhid. Yeah,
Yeah, and obviously you have a very, I would say, inward or inside out view of the Kolkata talent ecosystem. What are some of those talent capabilities that Visteon identified, that you have identified, and we'll obviously get into the whole the career drive that Visteon organizes in Kolkata. But what are some of the talent capabilities that exist in Bengal, in Kolkata, that usually the market overall might underestimate?
So let's take, I mean, I would answer from an engineer's point of view. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Strong maths and science discipline. I mean, something which we Calcuttans or Kolkatans are very proud of, right? Our heritage of having being very strong in maths, physics, and science overall.
Yeah.
This this makes great engineers. Okay, these engineers, if you really see in the last couple of decades, have been going out of the city. Okay, produced
Mm.
in city, but going out of the city and making world class products. So
Yeah.
academic rigor is definitely the first thing which I think is a great substance which every engineering company looks for. Okay,
Mm.
now as we move into the era of AI,
Mm.
this academic rigor and problem solving mindset becomes even more important. Not just the know how of the tools or the frameworks, okay, but know how of what really is needed to build some of this. Okay, so I think great strong fundamental systems thinking, academic rigor, strong fundamentals in maths and science, I think that's something which I we really see as a great benefit for us being in Calcutta.
Yeah. And again, all these, is music to our ears and hopefully to our viewers and listeners. One thing that typically comes up is whenever somebody hears the word GCC,
Mm.
it's usually thought of as a back office, a satellite office, right? But this is a very different case. It's a core engineering hub promising to be a strategic competitive advantage for Visteon. If you can elaborate a little bit about how this misconception needs to be cleared, that a GCC is just a back office.
So let me give you a concrete example of ourselves itself. Okay,
Sure.
we do not do any back office work here. We do the core architecture, the core platform development. A large part of our AI innovation is happening in Calcutta as we speak. Okay, we are delivering some of the global products from here. I cannot talk about each one of them,
Sure.
but let me assure you, for some of our global customers, most of the important software components for those products are getting written in Calcutta, or I would rather say getting owned by the Calcutta team. So this is definitely not a back office engineering team for us. This is the frontline engineering team which we have created here. We are working on Android, the OS development part of it, not just the application development. So that really tells you the engineers from the Calcutta office are working on the heart of some of the core products which we are doing. We are doing embedded Linux systems. So essentially, whatever hardware we make, we bring up the hardware in Calcutta office. Okay, we do a lot of multimedia and audio software from Calcutta. And now we are also expanding our global HMI and AI capabilities for our products here in Calcutta. So if you sit in a car which has a Visteon product, chances are 30% of that software is actually built in Calcutta.
Wow.
So it's
Yeah.
it's definitely not a back office for us, and it gives me a great pleasure as more and more companies really invest in this level of work or this kind of work in Calcutta rather than treating it as yet another back office to save some cost.
Yeah, and I think this actually gives so much confidence to not just the people who are working on these projects, working on these products, but also to the general talent ecosystem, that you are making a significant difference. You are actually leading innovation, cutting edge innovation in technology, being based right out of Kolkata. Which sort of, I'll go into the talent piece a little bit, Rahul, and then probably come back to the GCC narrative once again towards the end.
Mhm.
Obviously, Visteon set up the engineering hub here. Obviously, you're hiring, and what you mentioned is you have to come here frequently to hire the best talent. Tell us a little bit about this hiring strategy. How frequently are you hiring? What kind of roles are you hiring for? what kind of products these teams are building, if you can give us some idea.
Thank you for asking that, Shubit. So, as we speak, we are having a hiring event right now. So, outside, I can see a lot of young faces with great talent and technical skills waiting to be a part of this Visteon's journey. Okay. We, as a company, we believe in hiring the right people always. Okay. So, we really do not have a time window when you can come and apply to us. If you are a great engineer, talk to us. We are there on most of the social media platforms. You can reach out to any of our leaders, and we would be more than happy to speak to you on some of the great technology which we are building. Okay. Now, what areas do we really hire for in Calcutta? So, as core engineering powerhouse for us, Kolkata would be responsible for almost all the key modules or the key software parts of our product. Okay, that includes embedded software platforms. So we are looking for people who are great at Linux kernel, great at hypervisors, great at bringing up certain devices and writing device drivers, and to bring up the hardware. We are also looking for passionate people who can work on the core operating system of the product. So it could be Android, Linux, or any other platform. Okay, and build the heart of the operating system above which the applications can sit. Since we are in the business of doing infotainment products, a large part of it is entertainment and multimedia. So we are also looking out for great audio engineers, great video engineers to come in and help us create that multimedia magic inside our product. We
Yeah,
also
yeah.
are looking at hiring AI and Gen AI professionals who could help us leverage the power of AI, not just for our products, but also for some of our processes inside the organization. In fact, we also have a strong presence of key program managers and execution directors who are driving some of the important programs of our customers from Calcutta. So we are hiring at all levels in Calcutta.
Wonderful. And obviously, with along with this podcast, obviously this message goes out to all the talented engineers, program managers in Kolkata, in Bengal, or even beyond who are listening to this. There's tremendous opportunities that Visteon is bringing, and it's great to hear, because somebody in your position, in your role, talking so passionately about the talent that Visteon sees and is hiring for these cutting edge projects. It's extremely heartening, and it's really, I would say, an honor and a validation for Kolkata Calling to be able to be sort of I would say, a cheerleader for this kind of initiative that Visteon is organizing. With that in mind, Rahul, obviously you are excited, you are passionate about the talent that you see here. Um, let's sort of also focus on what can be better for the talent, right? So there is also the question of Kolkata engineers being slightly under recognized. You talked about their maths science skills, but they are usually under recognized within the ecosystem that they exist in. What can they do more? What can they do better to showcase their talent, build their skills, build their capabilities to be technology ready, organization ready for organizations like Visteon?
So I would not dumbly agree to the point that Kolkata engineers are under recognized. Maybe the opportunities have arrived late. Okay? And
Mm,
they are yet to be given the opportunity to be recognized. Okay, I mean we just need to have the same engineers, maybe provide them with a bigger playground. Okay,
mhm,
but then of course there are I mean a large part of time has passed from this so-called opportunity discussion point of
mm,
view. Okay, if I had to request the engineering fraternity in Calcutta to invest their time and effort, that would definitely be to work on a product mindset. When you start owning the product behind what services or modules you are building, you get into systems thinking, which essentially leads to you owning products rather than building certain small parts of it. I am some of these answers are specifically with respect to what we are doing. Okay,
mhm.
we would definitely want people in Calcutta or the engineering fraternity in Calcutta to adopt global collaboration. Okay, now gone are the days when one center was only doing a complete part of the hardware or software, and
Yeah.
that's it. We are now talking about a global collaboration. AI adoption is the next on my list, or rather the first on my list. Okay, because AI is going to change how the world of tomorrow is going to work on. Okay, and I think this would be a great opportunity for Kolkata as well as many other Indian cities to really adopt AI and lead the world order rather than fighting amongst each other, and who is important in India, right? We
Yeah.
Indians need to lead the world order of AI.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there's a lot of validation at the national level as well with the AI summit.
Yes, yes.
Uh, very curious here, Rahul, because you mentioned, within organization, the engineers need to get into the systems thinking mindset, take more ownership of the products. Um, let's say for slightly younger talent, right, who are in colleges, graduating, what would your advice for the students be in terms of what kind of pathways to take, what kind of additional adjacent skills they need to pick up along with the curriculum that they are in? Because you've been a part of this education system, and there are many institutes of eminence. But what would you say can be improved by the students for themselves? And obviously we can talk about what the institutions need to do, but for a student who's in this domain, is interested, is passionate, what should they do?
So I would answer this in two different parts. Okay,
Mm.
one, essentially drawing a great example from our scholar program. Okay, so the current organizations and the industry, they help bring the gap between employability of the students, they try to minimize. Visteon has gone ahead and uh, created this scholar program, okay, which we are very proud of, where
Mm.
we left shift the induction of these interns into our organization at an early stage rather than getting them in seventh semester or eighth semester. Okay, what we do is we absorb, let's say, 100 people, get them to work on some of our most critical programs, learn some of the processes, uh, get their engineering mindset established at a much younger age. Okay, at least 6 months ahead of what others are doing, and really make them industry ready. So I would really request the engineering students of today's in all universities and colleges in Calcutta, if they get an opportunity to sign up for uh, one such course or program, they should really sign up for it. Okay, Visteon Scholar is one of the highly reputable, reputed programs out there. Okay, other than this, what I feel is the students, and I keep talking to a lot of students in West Bengal and outside, and we just finished our hiring season for the fresh graduates, and we hired close to about 100 people only in Calcutta. Okay, only from
Wow.
the West Bengal colleges. Okay, some of the most reputed ones. And what I did see is the passion. Of course, it's there in all of these students. They should start getting into more hackathons,
Mhm.
learn program platforms rather than just learning tools. What I observed was, oh, I have this one tool and I know how to use it very well. That's not where the tomorrow's engineering is going to. I mean, people are going to build more and more tools, more and more AI models. So you don't have to learn that one AI model, but know
Mhm.
really how AI models are built. Okay, your GitHub account is more important than your resume. Okay, so you come with your resume and show me what you've done on GitHub. I'll be more impressed rather than you talking hundreds and thousands of jargons. Okay, uh,
Mhm.
you should definitely choose a early adoption mindset. Okay, if you have to really work on something, I would
Mhm.
suggest get a Raspberry Pi or get one of these boards. Download most of the platforms which we work as are open source, like Android or other operating systems. You should get one of those Raspberry Pis, $35, and start tinkering around. Okay, start doing your own embedded projects. That would actually shorten the learning period for you. Okay, and that would help you become more employable, or rather
Mhm.
industry ready, where you do not have to ask how does this particular technology which I learned in my semester is really used by the industry. Okay, it's already out there for you. So yeah, there are lot of different ways, and I do see a lot of energy in these students to absorb some of these things. And I can tell you, after launching our scholar program, we have close to 7,000 plus people registered for our scholar
Wow.
program in India, out of
Wow.
which close to 1,500 are from Calcutta. Yeah.
Brilliant. Um, Rahul, also, want to understand, you've been you've been a product of this education system uh, close to 2 decades earlier. Don't want to make you feel old, but uh, how have you seen the evolution of talent from your days to now, right? Not just the fresh graduates, but even the junior to mid level of talent in engineering. How have you seen their shift in terms of skills, attitude, capabilities? If you can share a little bit about that.
So, quite honestly, with my role evolved over the last couple of years, and as you said, 19 years. So, in the last 19 years, I have interacted with engineers from all across the world, including various cities in India. Okay, I find engineering community, once you get absorbed in an industry and given that right opportunity, they
Mhm.
are same across. Okay, I mean, they just need the right opportunity to be able to showcase what they have learned in their universities, write the right programs. Okay, uh, definitely some of the most brilliant people I have spoken to, some of them were from Calcutta, which speaks a lot about the city. Okay, and I think it's all about getting them the right opportunities is what matters, rather than debating whether they deserve those opportunities in terms of
Mm.
capabilities and stuff. Okay, you just need to bring the opportunities and test the waters, is what I feel about the talent in Calcutta.
Yeah, yeah, and Rahul, as you mentioned, very illustrious 19 years. Obviously, you've grown through the ranks. Got exposure to different kinds of industry, worked with global teams. If you had to sort of distill some of your learnings from your early days to this leadership role that you are in, for engineering professionals in mid senior level career roles today, what would some of those life or career lessons that you could share uh, with them that probably would help them like they helped you?
Well, thank you for asking that question, Subit. So, I would only tell you from my personal experience. My personal experience of what a fast growth in your career would really, how would you be able to get this? One is definitely collaboration. Okay, you need to collaborate more with people in the organization, learn what the organization expects from you, and be ready to do it at the right point of time. Number one. Number two, of course, confidence and communication. I mean, these three C's have been my guiding pillars: confidence, collaboration, and communication. Okay, be confident. Not confident without a reason. Start improving your own skills, invest in your own skills. I mean, self investment probably is the best investment what you can do. That increases your confidence. Be ready to communicate, talk to people, get to know, get to explain what you know. Okay, I think a communication barrier once removed probably brings in more and more opportunities. Okay, and of course, so confidence, communication, and collaboration is what the three keys which I find the key reasons for my success. And probably I would like to see many people, or rather everyone, try and debate internally in their minds and see if they can absorb one or more than one of these qualities.
Yeah, yeah. um, and Rahul, which brings me to one more question about Visteon here. is obviously, you're hiring tremendously great talent, hiring drives that we spoke about, the scholar program for freshers. Um, what is it like to be working at Visteon? Like, if let's say a young professional were applying as part of this drive or is going into the scholar program, you've been with this organization for so many years. What is it like? What is the culture like? What is the mindset like? If you can share a little bit about that as well.
I am so very proud of talking about our culture. So, if I were to define, or rather, take a few words to define our in our culture, it's a no nonsense engineering culture. I mean, you feel proud coming to office every day, okay, in Visteon, knowing that you would be working on one of the world class products, uh, fa- uh, fixing some of the most critical problems which a user using one of those products would face. And finally, it's that great sense of pride when you see one of your product, because we work with a lot of Indian OEMs out there, okay. You see some of the products in terms of the cars, and you can tell, oh, you know what, that particular car, the infotainment system, I created it, or I wrote the, when you hear the music, that's my software in action, okay. That
Wow.
sense of pride is great, okay, is what really makes it different from working across other organizations or in other technologies. So I would definitely say a great engineering talent culture, and the sense of pride which we all hold when we see our products out there in the market. These two things uh, are something which we uniquely offer, apart from all the great stuff which we offer in terms of our compensation and HR policies and everything else. Is something which makes us a great place to work.
Yeah, no, I think you are a tremendous advocate and champion of your organization, and your passion really, really shows through. Even beyond your words, I think our viewers and listeners will absolutely get that. Rahul, moving to this, as you mentioned, the pride in seeing these products come to life, right, around us, right, experiencing them on a day-to-day basis. Um, want to pick your brains a little bit on how you see the automotive software future from India's lens, right? There's so many things happening, right? It can be a little confusing for lay people like us, but you spoke about advanced systems, you spoke about AI coming in, assisted driving, entertainment, infotainment, all of
Hmm.
that, so much packaging coming in together. If you had to sort of give us a little, I would say, cliff note version of what are some of the key areas in which this automotive software uh, future is heading, if you can give us your view.
So think of it this way, Subit. So cars of yesterday had a lot of metal, less of software. Okay,
Hmm.
cars of tomorrow are going to have less of metal, more of software, more of chips, more of semiconductors. Okay, and the largest role in all of these transition, okay, to
Hmm.
make car your digital product rather than a piece of metal parked in your garage, okay, is going to be played by software, okay. Software, right from booting up those semiconductor devices all the way to making them run some of the latest and greatest AI models, or talk to or make them talk to a cloud server where they can give their data, and the cloud server decides whether your tires are worn out more than what they should be, and if this is the right time for you to replace them, or you going and touching your uh, steering wheel, and you having a fever, and the steering wheel having some sort of a sensor to understand you're not well, or probably not in the right state of physical condition to really go and drive, and you should better visit a doctor first rather than going to your place of work, okay. We are enabling some of these, or rather all of these experiences in the car, okay. So uh, the cars are having multiple displays, voice assistant features. So think about, I mean, the displays are becoming way bigger. So from one end of the car where you are sitting from the driver's side, there is a button which is on the extreme end of the display, the displays got bigger. Unfortunately, your hands remained the same, right? They did not get bigger. So we are enabling a lot of voice based user interaction. So you could now say, Alexa, open the sunroof, or Alexa, switch on rear AC at this X. You don't have to go and touch and things, right? We are talking about advanced navigation. You are going in a location which is unknown to you, but known to an intelligent AI inside your car, which knows this is your GPS location and this is a place of interest, and it then starts telling you about some stories about that place, when it was built, who built it, uh,
Wow.
more like a guide. Okay, so we see software really playing the role as a guide for all of these experiences. Okay,
Hmm.
for which probably you would not be able to conceive any of this earlier. Now,
Yeah.
do we really close at this? So you bought a car with X number of features and that's it? No, we are talking about a software-defined vehicle era. Okay, where the car itself, just like your mobile phone, you keep getting updates, you keep getting newer features. The car keeps evolving itself. Okay, through this
Mm.
software-defined infrastructure updates, and that's the future which we are all talking about and creating in Visteon.
Yeah, yeah. I think driving used to be stressful, but I think increasingly what it's becoming, it's becoming an experience. It's
Yes, yes.
yeah. I mean, you can just snuggle in, and then everything is taken care of. And this is brilliant to know. Very curious, because we referred or referenced AI earlier in the discussion, and obviously India, you mentioned, should lead this AI revolution across the globe. Um, though unplanned, but I just want to understand, what is your take on AI? Because there's so much noise around, right? I mean, wherever we go, there's positives, negatives, fear, I would say optimism. Rationally speaking, from your lens, because you're working at the cutting edge of all of this, what is your take on the AI era that's almost here, or even here right now?
So so I as an individual plus I as a professional working in this organization. In If you ask both this question, they both will answer the same thing. AI is a great thing to happen. Okay,
Hmm.
a great thing to happen to humanity, great thing to happen to mankind in 2026, 526. 2025 was more of, well, AI can do this, plus it can do that as well, plus it can do that other thing. Now it's the time where you really find out, you take AI and use it for these specific stuff. So if I were to quote what our great leader, our CEO Sachin talks about, is two things. You need to use AI in your products to build those experience for your customers. Also, use AI in your processes to make yourself more productive. So for example, we are all software engineers. Can we use AI to write most of the boilerplate code? Okay, which takes almost 60% of your efforts. Okay, so that you can really start working on the core problem solving areas of the software. You can use AI to automate your code. Okay, you can use AI to write test software to test your code. You can use AI to learn software, I mean user requirements. So we are given like 10 gigabytes of documentation from our customers. Can we really write an AI model to learn more about these requirements, put them into a crisper form? Or you have a code and create requirements, because most of the code was written as a reactive code. You found an error, you'd go and change the code. You never really bothered changing the requirements. Okay, I think so again, to take cues from what Sachin teaches us, we should use AI both in our products. Of course, they are where the end industry wants, but to be really ahead of the game, we have to absorb AI in our processes. Every engineer out there, every manager out there needs to absorb AI in his or her area of work. That's our take on AI. So we are a big time adopter of AI. Okay, people still are talking about AI and its usage in their products and processes on white papers. However, Visteon has really taken that next bold step in adopting AI, and rather using AI in some of its core processes.
Yeah,
Subid.
yeah, yeah. Um, And I know, Rahul, we mentioned that we'll come back to this. Obviously, it's been a fascinating insight into how Visteon works, what it does, the new technology, and obviously, the AI era that is ushered in, and obviously about Kolkata, which you spoke so passionately about, the talent, the ecosystem. Uh, Coming back to our old GCC question, right? GCCs are sort of proliferating across India, right? And there's this huge, GCC explosion of sorts that's happening across. Um, you sort of hinted at, phase one, phase two, and then Kolkata is at the cusp of that phase two.
Hmm,
Uh,
hmm.
what can Kolkata, Bengal as an ecosystem, talent ecosystem, learn from phase one of GCC, right? What has changed? What needs to be incorporated? How can we take advantage and be at the right place at the right time for this phase two of GCC wave?
Okay, so let's look at it from this so-called phases point of view, which I was talking. The phase one was clearly about cost, okay, where
Yeah.
you had some of the cities leading um, uh, GCC expansion to save cost for the organizations. Okay, we are now talking about a true phase two where global capability center, we are now talking about the word capability in itself. Okay,
Mhm.
so you are now increasing your capabilities in terms of what you can offer more than cost saving. Okay, some of these things can be learned from many other tier 2 cities. Okay,
Mhm.
how they have been able to model themselves up and do some of the most creative work in science and technology in India. I mean, I'm not talking about the traditional tier one cities. So I think phase two is more about capability. AI is a perfect example. Okay, it's the phase where companies like us have entered Calcutta. Uh, uh, so I think phase two would be more about building your own capabilities in various disciplines of in engineering. Okay, in various disciplines of science, of course not forgetting the whole uh, concept of collaboration. I mean, you cannot enter phase two just by building your own infrastructure, okay, or rather your own capabilities. You have to have this whole collaborative mindset, because there are cities which are doing great compared to what we are doing. Okay, and we need to, in many cases, learn from them. Okay, we have to improve definitely our industry and academia relationship. Okay, what I could see was in many of the visits, uh, if we are able to stress on this industry academia connect, today's students become tomorrow's engineers. Okay, and tomorrow's engineers becomes day after tomorrow's industry leaders. Okay, so
Yeah.
we need to have this connect established. I can really see a lot of global startup ecosystem also being present here. Are we advertising about them? Are we talking about them? Okay, I mean, so their maturity of this ecosystem also needs to be talked about, according to me. And once you start branding of these success stories, I
Yeah.
think you are at that center stage of this GCC 2.0, if you have to call it.
Yeah, and I think there's no shame in learning from people who or cities who've done it well in the past, and taking those learnings, and from learning from the mistakes also, and doing it better in phase two. Uh, Two small questions before we get to the close of our stipulated time, Rahul. One is, you mentioned this importance of being collaborative across geographies, right? With remote work, internet, distributed teams are a reality. How can Kolkata be, I would say, more at the center of such a structure, this decentralized structure where there is so much cross-functional, cross-cultural collaboration happening thanks to remote work, thanks to distributed teams. If you can tell us a little bit about that as well.
Okay, so my take on this particular thing would be, find out your biggest um, component where you can lead rather than support, and get it done. Okay, that's the only two ways you can actually be relevant in this whole collaborative model of product development. Okay, one, you need to find out your uh, skill or a part of that particular product where you are great at,
Yeah.
and start owning it very quickly. Okay, I mean, I keep talking to, I'll only tell you from Visteon's point of view. I mean, one of the questions which I keep asking our Calcutta team is, guys, don't tell me what you are supporting on. I mean, I'm supporting this X project, working on Y module. No, tell me I'm leading this particular module for all programs from Calcutta. That's the mind shift change which we are looking at.
Yeah, and I think, and if I take the liberty of tying it back to your earlier advice, that even as organizations or teams, we should take those lessons that apply for an individual. That you have the confidence based on your skills. You communicate that to your cross-functional teams, right? Even as a team, you communicate it to the other global teams that you are confident of doing this. You communicate that, and finally you collaborate with them. So I
Yes,
think
yes.
the lessons that you spoke about an individual in their professional career also applies to teams based in Kolkata, where they take the confidence, they take the lead, they communicate, they collaborate, and become more visible and more of a strategic advantage.
Obviously, I mean, end of the day, Subid, teams are nothing but a group of individuals who are working for that same cause with that
Yeah.
same energy.
Yeah.
And once every individual starts adopting communication, collaboration, and with confidence, I think this would be like a wildfire, wild fever, which will lead to success and nothing else.
Yeah, amen to that. Uh, Rahul, this has been fantastic listening to you. I cannot thank you enough for taking the time amidst your hiring drive. I know, and lots of eager faces and candidates are waiting to join Visteon, and we hope many more in the future in the upcoming drives. And we'll be obviously there to spread the message, spread the word to our community. Before we let you go, Rahul, a quick rapid fire, if you don't mind.
Yes.
um, uh, and rapid as in no thinking too much.
No thinking.
Uh, okay. One myth about Kolkata that you would want to change.
That Adda and algorithm cannot exist together.
Brilliant. One strength that Kolkata doesn't market enough, tying your point of confidence.
Depth of engineering, I think we people really should talk about our depth of engineering.
Okay. One capability Bengal or Kolkata Bengal talent needs to build in the next 5 years.
I would say entire India needs to build AI capabilities.
Mm. Okay. Um, what can Kolkata or Bengal do more so that more companies like Visteon start looking at Kolkata as a destination for top engineering talent and setting up engineering hubs like Visteon has done? What's the playbook?
Definitely build great infrastructure, do a lot of industry collaboration and branding. I think these three would be the top three as
So
per
again,
me.
again, Kolkata needs to do the same thing that an individual, a team needs to do: confidence, communicate, collaborate.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Brilliant. I think there's a clear through line, Rahul, in your philosophy, in practice as well, and that you've lived by. Uh, it's been fascinating. Before we close, I want to ask you two things.
Mhm.
One, uh, obviously, you've made it very, very clear how serious Visteon is about Kolkata. But what is Visteon's long-term commitment, expansion in the Kolkata ecosystem?
So we are in the near term, which is about less than 5 years. We are planning to triple our size of what we are today. Okay, and of course, Calcutta, given its very nature of great engineering expertise, we would like to see Kolkata become one of the key centers, engineering centers. Okay, delivering some of the coolest products which we do for our customers. Okay, we are very optimistic about that future, and as a result, we are giving our best. Okay, making the right investments in not just growing the talent, within the organization, but also a vast majority of talent in universities and elsewhere through programs like Scholar. Okay, so Visteon as an organization, we are very committed to building great products out of Calcutta.
Brilliant. Finally, last question. Your message, either personally or professionally from your role, message to Kolkata and the audience of Kolkata Calling.
Wow. So first of all, I am a Calcutta boy since I come from the city. I would only like to give a small message saying cities do not really become global hubs because of big buildings and everything else. Okay, uh, they become great because of their belief. Okay, we just need to keep investing in the talent which we have, and I'm very sure we would be an engineering powerhouse. And we need to do this across all cities in India. Okay, and not
Yeah.
specifically calling one of them. In tomorrow's race for AI and technology and infrastructure, I think India as a whole has to march together, and each
Yeah.
city, including Calcutta, has something great to offer.
Brilliant. Rahul, with that message, I think there's nothing left for me to add, but thank you for reinforcing the belief in the ecosystem of Kolkata. Thank you to Visteon for putting their faith in Kolkata, and we hope we live up to that expectation through the brilliant minds that you are interviewing and will continue to hire over the next few months and years. Hope this is the start of a very long association between Visteon and Kolkata. And with that, I think we are at the close of our podcast. Hope our viewers and listeners learned a lot from you. And for those who are in engineering, who love what Rahul talked about, the cutting edge technology that Visteon is developing, please feel free to reach out on the various social media platforms that Visteon is, and keep an eye out for our announcements on the next hiring drive that Visteon will be doing. With that, Rahul, we'll close the podcast.
Thank
Any
you.
closing words?
No, thank you. I really appreciate you being a great host and giving us this opportunity to be able to talk through your listeners and viewers and readers. Okay, I cannot be more proud than this. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. The pleasure is all ours, and thank you for you know taking Kolkata calling along this journey of Visteon in Kolkata. Thank you, Rahul. Have a great hiring
Likewise.
drive today.
Yes, yes,
All right.
likewise.
With that, we'll close our podcast. Thank you.